Hello everybody, this is Iced Blood. Welcome back to Resident Evil 4. Bit of disclosure before we get started here. Normally, I watch the footage at least once before I start recording commentary, but I thought today we'd try something a little different. I've had one drink tonight, went out, saw a show, saw my best friend perform. Whole bunch of cool stuff happened, and I had a rum and coke to celebrate, and it was enough. Anyway, so I thought it would be interesting if I just kind of went in cold, and we'll just see what happens. Kind of a midway point between live and post commentary, I guess. Right now, we're a little bit further back than when I left off last time because I wanted to sell some stuff. And I got myself a capacity upgrade for our shotgun because we are out of shotgun shells right now. And we can definitely use them. Alright. Let's reload the rifle. Let's see how this goes. This area is not what I would necessarily call difficult, but it's a little tricky. So, our target is that dude in red with the goat skull, because we only go after the most fashionable targets around here. No, actually what he has is a key, and that key will let us go through the doorway leading into the next area. So, first off though, we're going to clear the playing field a little bit so that we can kind of maneuver ourselves a little bit. Because the thing about that guy is that depending on where you are and whether you're aiming at him, he will run. And he has a certain circuit that he takes. And if you let him get through the whole way, the center of the room there, you see that right there? That actually turns into a big ass Gatling gun. And we don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna try and get him. Before that. It's very tricky. I've mentioned several times that I've played this game multiple times through. I actually have never managed to get him before he reached the Gatling gun before. Every time I've played this game, every time I've reached this section, he's always managed to find the Gatling gun before I was able to get him. His maneuvering is scripted. It depends on your location. It depends on which doors you open, which enemies you kill, stuff like that. I'm not positive on all the details, to be honest, but I think I've got his number pretty well. This guy with a helmet. That suplex did less damage than it normally would have. And I'm pretty sure that if you're dealing with a guy with a helmet, that you actually can't kill him using a suplex. But I'm also pretty sure there is actually a flip side to that, a good point to him having that helmet, and that's the fact that a plaga cannot come out of that guy's head because of the helmet. So, yeah, they're a little bit tougher to kill, strictly speaking, but they also are less dangerous. Now, you saw right there, I got him in my sights, he noticed, and he disappeared. Alright, that one's down. Crossbows are always fun. Aha, rifle ammo, always use that. Rifle ammo is one of the types that tends to be somewhat scarce. Maybe I'm just thinking it because I'm using the rifle a lot and I just happen to have bad luck this time, but it's kind of always been my experience that the rifle is one of the rarer ones. Handgun obviously is the most prolific ammo. I would probably say that shotgun is next. Basically, the stronger your weapon, the rarer the ammunition. And you see there, that's what I meant when I was talking about how his movements are scripted, because obviously we saw him about a minute ago go through that door, and then we saw him go through the door again because we dropped down to this level. So, not the most realistic enemy in the world, but that's a bit nitpicky, so we'll ignore that. Now we're gonna try and get him with the rifle from right here. Alrighty. 1, 2! Yes! Alright, we took him down. And he was actually the last enemy in this area because the music is gone. Very nice. Well, see there, you just witnessed history in Iceblood's gaming career. I actually managed to take him down before he reached his gun. Now then. Is there anything else? Doesn't look like it. Let's go and collect the spoils of war. The gallery key. Now, using the gallery key, we can unlock the gallery. I know, shocking, right? No, that's the next area, so we can now move forward. Oh, that's right. Before we do that, we're going to want to break some pottery. Because we want the treasure that's hidden in it. Because, you know, that's where you hide treasure if you're living in a castle. You hide it in pots. Duh. Let's grab shotgun shells. Let's grab velvet blues. We got ourselves an herb. What's over here? Nothing. Oh, TMP ammo. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's go through this door. We need to go up to the second floor. Bit of a roundabout way to get back to the gallery door, but guess I can't complain. The architect probably knew what they were doing. Or maybe they were, you know, a lunatic. Whichever. Considering Salazar, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy he hired to construct this castle was a little bit wonky. It's locked. Well, we can fix that. Now then. Let's get whatever this is in the eye of the deer. What's in the pot? Nothing. Alright. So here's a little puzzle we're going to get to as soon as we break these pots. Now what you have to do with this puzzle is these portraits are double-sided. And whenever you press a button, there's 4 buttons, see they switch around. Now what we want is for there to be 6 bodies total across all 4 portraits. See right there, that's too many. That's... But there... No, wait, hold on. Did I? No, too many. Way too many. 8. That's 7. Nope. Nope. There we go. There's 6. Okay, and the wall opens up and we reach a doorway. Oh, you again. Lovely.
What a pleasant surprise.
Absolutely.
But I'm afraid it's Ashley we need. Not you, Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, it's Mr. Kennedy now.
Then get off my back, old man.
Did you say old man, Mr. Kennedy? It might come as a surprise, but I'm only 20 years old.
Oh,
So you're just
sure.
like all the others? A puppet of the parasites?
Surely you don't think I'm the same as those diminutive ganados. The parasites, las plagas, are slaves to my will. I have absolute control.
Well,
Obviously.
I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
Okay. That'll do. So, a lot of the dialogue that I seem to have the most trouble with is actually Leon's. I like Leon. I like the actor. I like the character model. I like the evolution. You got yourself a beat cop that becomes a government agent. That's awesome. But some of the stuff he says rain or shine, you're going down. Like, okay. I mean, sure, you want to put on a brave face in front of the enemy, but come on, Leon. Anyway, what we need to do in here is deactivate the security system so that we can press a button and then get hold of a very particular item. But before we can do that, we need to clear this place of... Well, I don't even know, would these be considered ganados? Because see, ganados, I believe that translates to cattle. I think I mentioned that before. And I think that's a reference to the villagers that we saw in the first third or so of the game. I don't know if these guys count as ganados. I wonder if they have a different name. Because, of course, you'd think with any sort of religious cult, there's going to be ranks, right? You've got the leader, the prophet, he's on top. And then you've got, you know, his right hand. Maybe that's, that dude Salazar. Maybe that's second in command. I have my doubts. I mean, he doesn't seem particularly trustworthy when it comes to heavy responsibilities and things. And if you're an organization that's trying to kidnap, you know, the families of world leaders, I figure you're going to want a second in command that can kind of keep up with you. And, well, I just have my doubts on the short old man who's apparently only 20 years old. Anyway, the whole point is, these guys are probably higher ranked than the villagers. In fact, the villagers might not even be members of the cult at all. Maybe they're just, like, following the cult's teachings. Like, they're part of the religion, and then, like, Sadler is the Pope. I don't know. That seems blasphemous. Anyway, I think these might be considered ganados. Let's see, now we're down back at the bottom floor. We can reach them. Hard to get to them, though. Let's try the scope. Haha, there we go. Nice. Alright, that was unnecessary. Okay. Another one down. Switch off to the black tail. Pick up everything we can. Technically, I could skip all this. And there are plenty of areas where you can skip killing enemies and just go for the major objectives. And I don't begrudge anyone that does. You know, speedrunners and such. And there are times when I decide, you know what, I don't want to deal with these things, let's just ignore them. But usually I'll kill everything that moves. Either because I'm a sociopath, or because I want to see what random items will drop from bodies. Because a lot of the time, well, I won't necessarily say a lot of times, sometimes, a fair amount of time, it's actually worthwhile. Even though you end up using more ammunition, and you potentially end up using more healing items, it usually, in my experience, it's worth it. Now then again, I have had times when I just rush through things and end up with a lot more resources than I would if I decided I wanted to kill things. And this isn't one of those, you know, action RPGs where every kill nets you experience points. There's the Mercenaries mode that's unlocked after you beat the game, where you kill as many enemies as possible. You do get points, and I think I may have mentioned before, I might end up doing some Mercenaries for this LP. It's kind of up in the air just because I'm not the best when it comes to Mercenaries, to be honest. I have never unlocked the special weapon that you get from playing Mercenaries, which is called the hand cannon. It's a class of gun we actually haven't reached just yet, but we will. But I figure, you know what? It could be fun to have some mercenaries footage. And who knows? Maybe I'll try to use the keyboard and mouse controls if they have indeed been improved for this edition compared to the first PC release, because that might improve my aim. Because that's one of the bigger issues. Because with mercenaries, the way it works is you have a time limit, and there's a ton of enemies, and you kill them for points. And if you keep a string of kills going, you get combos, and basically you want to kill as many enemies as quickly as possible. And so aim actually does become rather pivotal. Now obviously that's not to say that aim isn't important in the main game, but it's a little less so, I guess. Anyway, we've got rocket launchers on us. The thing about those guys, though, is that they only fire off their 2 rockets, and then I guess they have to go buy more rockets because they disappear, and you no longer have to deal with them. Now, in here is the switch that we need, because we need to get to that treasure chest right there. Let's not do that just yet. Okay. They've wasted their weapon, and of course, because they're really smart cultists and they planned ahead, they only had that one weapon. Clearly, those guys were at the top of their class. I mean, yeah, okay, it's a good idea to have a rocket launcher, I suppose. I mean, I'm not going to deny that it's an effective weapon. We've used it on bosses and stuff. For that to be your only contingency plan? A little short-sighted there, Ganado. Ganado? Is that the singular for Ganados? I would assume it would be. I wonder if that's a name. Anyway, we got ourselves an ornament. Now remember, I showed you in the last, I think it was the last episode where there was that plaque, I guess, the wall sculpture thing, and it had a large indentation where you needed to place something. I mentioned it was kind of a, kind of a lock, I guess. It's a puzzle, sort of. That was the first of the 3 pieces that we need to get through that door and find where Salazar is. Got our handgun ammo. And what's that? Spinal! Yay! Now, this area. Remember this area. It is very important that we go back here at some point when we have our companion back. You know who I'm talking about. Let's pick up all the stuff. There we go. Now, we want to get into that door. We can't right now. So, we're going to go this way. Destroy the barrels. Get the ammunition. Ooh, grenade. And rifle ammo. Always nice. I'm still a bit low. I don't like being that low on rifle ammo. Got a decent cache of handgun ammo. That's nice, but... I hesitate to say that our resources are slim right now, because technically they're not. But... less than I would like, especially for this area. Every castle needs a hedge maze. Why? It's a contract thing. Especially when you're dealing with a horror story. You can't avoid a hedge maze. You just can't.
Mr. Kennedy. Still alive, I see.
No,
So,
I'm dead.
do you like my garden?
I see you've managed to work in a little of your twisted taste here, too.
Sagacious as I am, even I get lost here sometimes. Even if it takes your whole life, you'll never get out. Do you know that no one dies without a cause? You will satisfy the stomachs of my cute pets. Now, if
Oh,
you'll
that's lovely.
excuse me, I have to tie up a few loose ends, like chasing down a couple of rats.
2 rats. If one's Lewis, who's the other? Huh. They're an intruder besides me?
Okay. Never mind, Mr. Creepazoid. We have to get through this area. Thing about that is, well, you probably understand how this game works by now. There are enemies, specifically zombie dogs. I hate these fucking things. Pardon my language, but bleh. Anyway, let's just use ourselves that herb. Now, to get through this section and get to the next part, which will end the chapter, we need 2 halves of a key. Because, well, obviously, obviously, to get anywhere in this game, you need keys. There are locked doors everywhere. The shotgun is my weapon of choice for zombie dogs. It has a good enough spread that it can usually hit them, regardless of whether or not you're aiming right at them. Of course, slight issue being that the shotgun is somewhat slow. That could just be in my head, because it's more powerful than the handgun. I might have this idea that, oh, if it's more powerful than the handgun, then it must be slower than the handgun. And that kind of, you have the flip side there when you're dealing with the TMP, because, of course, the TMP is weaker than the handgun. But, considering how often it shoots, well, it's obviously faster. I honestly don't even know if half of this is true. In any case, there's the left half. And there are plenty of dogs, or wolves, or whatever these things are, between us and the right half. Case in point, there are 3 right here. And they do a lot of damage. Okay. Well, that one was polite. Saw I was in the middle of something and decided to let me go through with it before it attacked me. How lovely. There's some treasure here as well. At the very least, I believe there's an herb and maybe a first aid spray. Oh, some shotgun shells. That doesn't seem to make too much sense to me. Salazar does not seem like the type to use a shotgun, and it makes even less sense to keep shotgun ammunition in a treasure chest in your hedge maze. You'd figure if you were going to have ammunition for a weapon, you'd want to keep it at hand. And hidden away in the corner of a maze is kind of the exact opposite of at hand. But I suppose we can't hold Senor Salazar. I'm not being racist, that's his title. We'll find that out later. Anyway, considering his general mental state, I suppose it shouldn't be too surprising that he does things in an unorthodox sort of manner. I suppose of all the people that we've come across so far, Salazar seems the most likely to keep things in random treasure chests just because he can. Okay, here we go. There's the right half of the moonstone. Now, we have to make it back to where we started, because that's the door right there. I've seen it. Up there on that balcony. That's the door we need. Let's go through here. Won't open. Well, because we need a key. And it just so happens that we have one. Okay. Oh.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Sorry, but following a lady's lead just isn't my style.
Put them up now.
Slow motion action scene.
Bit of advice, try using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
Leon.
She took off her glasses.
Ada. So it is true.
True? About what?
You, working with Wesker.
I see you've been doing your
Scandalous.
homework.
Why, Ada?
What's it to you?
Why are you here? Why'd you show up like this?
Sightseeing.
See you around.
Ada!
Ada! Alrighty, well that's the end of chapter 3-2. This has been Intoxicated Blood. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe so you know when the next one hits. Send me a like and a comment and all that jazz. It really helps the channel along. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.